Greetings, members, one and all of the Salivation Nation. They got it right. Mostly a gold coin donation report. Let's explore. You may remember during the beginning of the holiday season, I posted a video called Wrong on So Many Levels, a rare gold coin donation report, about how the media have been covering what's been happening more and more lately, people dropping in gold coins at the Salvation Army kettle. It's something that's been going on for quite a number of years, but we're hearing about it a little bit more, especially in the age of information and how news travels fast across the internet. And it's interesting, and it's really a great thing. And I'm not one that's a stickler too much for fine details and that kind of because I often get things wrong, but I'm not a reporter. But I did cover a story in a video where they got so many things wrong, it just was worthy of mentioning and kind of humorous in a way. With just a modicum of research, they could have found out very basic information about the coins that have been put into the kettle there. And but nonetheless, this organization, the Great Bend Tribune, has got it mostly right. In fact, I would say, save for one little piece of information, and I'll kind of cover this. But this is from Great Bend, Kansas, and a unique piece of foreign currency has found its way into the hands of a local charity organization. And in a sense, he's right, but in a way not, because these coins really weren't circulated as currency. They are bullion coins, and they don't have a denomination. We'll get into that most here momentarily. Through its recent kettle drive, the Salvation Army of Great Bend received a rare Krugerrand coin. There's where why it was only mostly, they say rare, and they talk about it in the title too. Krugerrands are not rare coins, although there may have been some special variety that could have made it rare that I'm not aware of. But usually, if they say it's rare, they would say what the date is and what makes it rare. It says the coin is made of an ounce of gold and is worth between $1,800 and $2,000, said Pam Vayner, manager of Salvation Army of Great Bend. So Pam has done her research on it. And by the way, here's the picture of Jennifer McAllister, who is Salvation Army of Great Bend's kettle drive coordinator, holds this Krugerrand coin that was donated by an anonymous individual last week. So this was reported on the last day of December, so just before Christmas there. And the gold coin was delivered. Of course, you really can't see it in this picture, but she's holding it in her hand there. And but yes, so the article goes on to say that we would like to publicly thank the anonymous donor for this most generous donation, Vayner said. These kinds of coins are very rare. Well, that's not true. They're very common. Now, they're very rare when you compare them to regular quarters, dimes, and nickels, sure. But and so that may be the stickler there. I know when I was critical of the last article about this, they said several in the comments says, well, it's rare for this to happen for the kettle drive. And this goes on, the sentence goes on to say, and to have one show up during our kettle drive is a real piece of holiday treasure. And it's rare that it happens. But the thing is that, yeah, this is why it's newsworthy. It's obvious that it's rare that it gets dropped into a kettle during the kettle drive. This is why these are newsworthy. It goes without saying. So that when they're talking about rare here, they're talking about that the coin is rare. But in terms of gold coins, it's not a rare coin, and they should not use that word. And this is where they got mostly right. But nonetheless, Vayner said the anonymous donor called the Salvation Army state office in Kansas City and notified personnel last week that the coin was deposited in one of the 4 Salvation Army kettles in Great Bend and to keep an eye out for it. We found the coin during collection at the end of the day on Christmas Eve, and after we were made aware that it was placed in one of our kettles, she said. Vayner added that the coin was placed in a sealed manila envelope and deposited in the kettle at the Dillon's store located at 10th and McKinley. You know, the donor was very smart to do that because even though the kettles, have kind of a slit, and really I can imagine by the look of them that maybe the people who are volunteering can't just open it up and grab whatever's inside. I don't think that's possible, but I don't know. But even as such, if you know there's a gold coin dropped in there, you will find a way to get in there if you're so inclined. So they probably wanted to secure his donation by letting officials know that it has been delivered there. So very smart of the donor for sure. And then the article goes on impressively to talk about the history of the South African Krugerrand. First minted on July 3rd, 1967 to help market South African gold and produced by the Rand Refinery and the South African Mint. The name is a compound of Paul Kruger, the former president of the South African Republic, the Rand, the South African unit of currency. And on the reverse side of the Krugerrand is a springbok, South Africa's national animal. By 1980, the Krugerrand accounted for more than 90% of the global coin market. Boom, there you go. And just there, it shows you that the Krugerrand is not rare, especially if they accounted for 90% of the global gold coin market by 1980. It was the number one choice for investors buying gold. There you go. Another sentence that directly contradicts the rare gold coin claim above. However, during the 1980s and 1990s, Krugerrands fell out of favor as some Western countries forbade import of the Krugerrand because of its association with the apartheid government of South Africa. Well, I know the 1980 Krugerrand is a very common date, but there may be some dates in there that are rare because of that. But some Western countries forbade import, but others probably did not, and they probably minted a great number of those. But again, without knowing what the actual date on the coin was, we don't know. We don't know. We can't say, and they can't either. Let's see. Although gold Krugerrand coins have no face value, they are considered legal tender in South Africa by the South African Reserve Bank Act of 1989. So that's kind of like what the Libertad has done as well. And when you think about it, that is smart to do, especially if your currency is unstable. In 2017, the story continues. The Rand Refinery began minting silver versions, which have the same overall design as the gold coin. In the 21st century, Krugerrands have received media attention in the United States after anonymous donors have left the valuable coin in the Salvation Army's annual Christmas kettle donation jars in various cities around the country. And that is right, Krugerrands are relatively popular for these gold coin kettle donations, which means they're not rare. And again, unless there's some variety I'm not aware of, they don't specify the date on the story, but they have gone into great detail to talk about the history of the coin, which I think is spectacular. I think it's great. So overall, the reporting of this story, I think, is very well done. Gold in the pot. Great Bend Tribune. So there it is. Yes, indeed. Fascinating. And it's nice. And the thing is, it doesn't take a whole lot of time to research these things. Even if you don't give the history behind it, they didn't need to do that, but they went ahead and put that information in there as well. The story could have literally stopped, back up here with the local elements of the story, and it would have been just fine. But just goes to show you, and again, I'm not a reporter. I don't pretend to play one, but I do obviously talk about the news and commentary and the like. And but this is something I think is incumbent upon local media and national media to get things right. And for the most part, this story did. So congratulations to the Great Bend Tribune. And I wanted to kind of do another story to kind of praise media when it is due. Because the previous story I've been going to criticize, well, really technically it is, or what have you. But nonetheless, I don't want to just be a negative Nancy. And neither story takes away from the sheer generosity from the donor themselves. It was very nice. But, if more media gets it wrong, more than likely somebody's going to donate a gold coin, and whoever the donor is maybe savvy enough to, here's a fact sheet about the coin, just so you understand and use this in your media reporting, but fact check it first. So there you have it. So yes, indeed, these stories are quite intriguing. I'm sure I'll cover more of them in the coming year as the Christmas season comes upon us again. But amazing. Overall, the generosity of people out there, and that it brings attention to gold, precious metals, coin collecting, I think serves yet another element to this that perhaps could get people into understanding precious metals and gold and silver as money. Yes, indeed, especially when they're donated as such. I can't think of a better way than to spread that good news than by putting a gold coin in a donation. And you know what? Maybe it's time somebody put a silver coin in there as well. That would be pretty cool. So yes, indeed. So there you have it. I would like to extend a multitude of gratitude to you all for taking the time to watch this video, and encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.